Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Superior Marketing for Therapy webinar. I am so happy to have you on here. Today, we are going to be making this for YouTube. So it's kind of weird doing this right now because it's like I'm talking to a room of everybody, but nobody at the same time. But that is totally okay. But today, I am here to help my fellow therapists get more reach, get more impact, and achieve more clients. So, what is the problem that therapists are often having with their marketing? Well, therapists struggle with their marketing because, quite frankly, we weren't taught in school really how to market ourselves. And we also don't really see ourselves as business owners. Often we feel guilty about putting ourselves out there, leading to overthinking and a drop in referrals, right? So we just kind of overthink a lot of our processes. We overthink everything that has to do with marketing. We just make this so much more complicated than it needs to be. We think marketing is this big, giant strategic thing, which it is a strategic thing. You need some strategy in it, but you don't really need to overthink this and add strategy on top of strategy on top of strategy. I often say when you're going in with a marketing plan or being strategic, it's 80% consistency is what we're looking for when we say strategy, right? You just want to come up and make sure you're able to do something consistently, right? You're not setting yourself up for failure and burnout and all that kind of stuff. This hesitation of us to, overthink our decisions and then ultimately not take decisions with marketing and build ourselves up and then take ourselves down, all that, this hesitation that we ultimately end up to, it's costing us countless clients and revenue right now. So, in case you want to know a little bit about me, there's my name right there, my formal name, Justin Gillespie. Credentials, LMSW Clinical, licensed clinical social worker. I'm a certified professional for ADHD, and I'm the owner of the Superior Center in Michigan. We have a team of, I have lost count officially at the top of my head, but we have a team of, I believe, 10 clinicians now, part-time and full-time. We have served nearly 500 clients since June of 2023. That is including, I will say this is including the 25 that I brought over from my group practice, that most of which I marketed myself to get anyway. And then in 1 month after that, we doubled that 25 to 50 and then so forth. So in a year and a half's time, we went from 25 to 50 people, and now we have just 10x that growth with the clients that we have been getting. On Instagram and TikTok, I have over 100,000 followers each, and I'm even growing my Facebook page a little bit. I got like 13,000 followers over there finally, and I even grew LinkedIn a little bit. I got a couple hundred people over on there recently. Across the entire internet, if you need more social proof, I've had 200 million video views. That is across Instagram, TikTok, a little bit on LinkedIn, some of it on Facebook, and a small couple little bit over here on YouTube. Hopefully we can change that soon because we kind of stop and go on YouTube, but that's okay. We're uploading this for YouTube. Hopefully you're getting value with it. Hopefully you share this with like two people because Lord knows we need to help this channel, right? But hopefully you guys are getting really good value with it. In case you need more social proof from me as to why I'm the one you want to listen to, not only I went viral, not only have a lot of followers, not only I really know the game when it comes to social media, but on average, I'm receiving 1 to 2 client inquiries per day. And that's slightly going up as we speak right now. But especially as a solo person, up until the last nearly 12 months or so, we've received 1 to 2 client inquiries from me and my team per day. And depending on the day, that number does in fact go up. We have a 90% conversion rate, and we see an average of 20 plus new clients per month in our practice, which is super awesome, especially at the rate that we're hiring. We're usually able to fill new therapists within 1 to 2 months, usually, which the average I know is anywhere between 3 to 6 months in many group practices. So that's wonderful. We love to see that. As far as our specialty and our client interests go, the mass majority of the clients that we see, and I'm talking mass majority, right? They are excellent fits for both myself and our group practice. For myself, it is a 100% great fit. They know me very well at this point. My group practice associates, I would say it's like 90 to 95%. We've been pretty good. I think we've had occasionally someone who's come in and, we thought would be a good fit. It's like, maybe not. But you know what? We're still really good compared to other group practices. I would say a lot of group practices, when people are in them, they are usually at best half the time getting a good fit client, and then the rest are just kind of like, I'll take them, I'll try, and then I'll stay stressed out. And then if there's nothing else you need to know about me as to why you should stay in this training, is that I've obtained a business concentration in college. So for those who don't know what a concentration is, it's kind of like less than a minor. So it's not quite a minor, but it was a concentration in it. So it's about 15 to 18 credits in business. So I studied business, finance, marketing in college, in addition to my social work studies. And then on top of it, I have about 20 years of independent study and practice when it comes to social media, including the last 5 years I've done this professionally. So when I say independent study, I have been doing this since I was about 12 years old, in the sense of I was always watching creators create videos. I was fascinated how certain videos went viral and some didn't. I was always taking notes on titles of videos, captions of videos, studying how algorithms work, studying what it takes to make you Googleable, basically, right? I also served in my very early 20s on the local Kiwanis Club of Michigan in my city, and then I also served in local government. Well, I didn't quite serve in local government, but I served on the election panel, I should say, for some city council members who were running for election, wanted to increase their social media presence, increase their presence in the public and whatnot. And I helped them with the knowledge that I had. So I've been doing this for quite a long time. So if you're going to watch any training on online marketing, marketing techniques, anything like that, you might want to listen to mine, or at least give my loudmouth a chance. Okay. So the question is, how did we actually do this, right? So the main theme, as you can see right here, is we stopped overthinking. We stopped overthinking every action, every little strategy, every little step, and we just truly went for it, right? And I know there's gonna be a lot of coaches and consultants on there that might catch this video and they're gonna be like, oh, don't do that. You need to, analyze everything, right? I am the exact opposite, okay? When I analyze things, I'm presenting all the options, I just freak out, right? I am a firm believer in you just need to take fucking action, excuse my language. I did find out that I can say fuck 3 times, keep the still PG-13. Oh well, we got one left, right? Sounds typical, right? But the point is that you need to just stop overthinking your process. I don't know why I said process. I don't know why I said process like that. But you need to stop overthinking your process, and you just need to go at it when it comes to your marketing, your social media presence, and ultimately just take action and then mold it as you go, rather than think of all these different outcomes that could happen. Because right now you're doing nothing. Right now you're confused and tired and feeling guilty and overthinking and everything. And so you just don't take any action or change anything. Whereas if you just take one step right now, you can just fix that later. So here's the four main things you can do while you're done overthinking, right? First thing you want to know right now is that you want to be known for a result. You want to be a specialist. That is the first rule of this training. If you take nothing else from this training, take this one. Go home if you want to leave right now. Become a specialist. And in this training, I'm going to kind of show you what it takes to actually become a specialist. It's not as hard as you think it is. All right, the next thing that you want to do is be comfortable speaking on video. Now, guys, I am making this video right now in long form. Short form, I'm a lot more confident. I'm a lot more, this is a little out of my element, but I'm getting better at it, as you can see, right? The point is that you want to get good at speaking on video. And there's a couple ways we can kind of tell you how to do that today. One of the ways I'll tell you right now is just like I'm doing a second ago, not just now because my speech sped up, but you want to slow your speech down. You want to have some emphasis, right, on those words, because not only those little pauses are going to help you just gather what's going on in your brain, what do you have to say next and whatnot, right? But also it's going to make you much more comprehensible when it comes to speaking on your video. Now, sometimes we're speaking from passion. Sometimes your words just kind of go off. That's why we have captions nowadays. But just for all intents and purposes, one way to get confident on speaking on video is just slow down the words and make sure you can hear every syllable that they say. Okay? So that's your little tip. But get comfortable in speaking on video. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have an ease of access website, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit here on exactly what I mean by that. I'll give you some stuff today for you that you can just get started immediately. And then the fourth thing is that you want to be a community resource. So whether it's the people you help or fellow social workers or doctors or what have you, you want to be the person or the group that these people ultimately want to go to for help, for assistance, for information. But you want to be the leading expert, or you want to be that leading special person in your community that people can actually go to for these answers. And if you can do all four of these, you're going to be a superstar therapist, you're going to run a superstar practice, and you have the potential to run a superstar group practice. Okay, so let's talk about what is my niche exactly, okay? The first lesson you need to take out of tonight is Your niche is not just, I'm a therapist for blank. I'm a therapist for ADHD. That's where I started, by the way, but that's not my niche, right? But I'm a therapist for ADHD. I'm a therapist for depression. I'm a therapist for anxiety, right? And I'm going to be so real with you all. Most therapists thinks it is okay to just go that way, right? Most therapists thinks it is that way to be a niche, and they do it like this. So the thing is with a niche is the niche is the actual result that you're going to be providing. So a lot of times what happens is if you look at our triangle down here, you have the generalists, right? These are the people I work with everybody. Point blank, right? I'm putting that in red and outside of the pyramid realm because we don't want to be this. We want to move away from that because something I always say is that a generalist is most likely working out of their scope of practice. They are the ones that are working with everybody. A generalist does not know what their scope of practice is. I'm just going to make that very clear with you. The only time that you really should be a generalist and working with everybody is if you just got out of school, you're under supervision, and you have no clue how the world works yet, and you're just going to give whatever a shot, okay? Your first 1, 2, maybe 3 years, you can be a generalist, and you're going to be under supervision. If you're still a generalist, I would highly recommend that you are under some sort of supervision or under some sort of consultation because you clearly are not competent in everything and you're gonna need some help. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. That sounds mean. That sounds judgmental. But at the end of the day, you have to know, what you don't, what you like, and what you don't, right? That's an ethical obligation when it comes to any sort of practice. So if you don't know those things, you need to be under some sort of supervision or consultation. That is my opinion only. Take it for what you will. Okay. So to get out of the generalist category, the first thing all you need to know is what do I know how to do? So if you know, I know anxiety, I know depression, I know substance abuse, okay, I know trauma, right? You can have a handful of things, right? And to me, at least in my opinion, you are not considered a generalist anymore. It means I have figured out the things I am competent at. Competency does not mean you are an expert or you are a specialist, but it means I know what I'm doing, right? So we're moving our way up to being a specialist. We're on our way to moving our up down the niche, right? We're creating our niche at this point. So the first thing you need to know is what do I know how to do? The second thing to get closer to developing your niche is what do I dislike or hate doing, or what do we want to get rid of? Then the third thing is going to be what issues do I love working with? Okay. So when you identify what you want to get rid of, what are we throwing out, and then out of the like, content, okay, and love category, what do you love doing? I'll tell you exactly what I love doing, okay? I love working with people with ADHD. That's one thing, right? Now, we're going to get closer into my niche and I'm going to explain this one a little bit, but I love working with people with ADHD. I love working with young adults with ADHD. I love working with people who are going through impending grief because of a family member who is expecting to be lost at some point. I can't words right now, if that makes sense to you all. But the point is that people who have dying relatives because of terminal illness, that's something that I really like to work with as like a secondary kind of area of expertise that I have, right? So those are some things that I really love doing, right? And so then we get into the what kind of people do we like to work with? And when I say what kind of people, what is their age? I said one of them earlier was young adults, right? What is their age? What is their race or ethnicity? What is their socioeconomic status? And who do we love working with and why, right? And then you get to what exactly is your niche or your big specialty, right? So I would say once you get to option B, you're already at the specialty zone. A is like, this is my niche. This is what I do. So by you stepping up your specialty into a niche, you're not only an expert in the problem or challenge, but you're also an expert in the solution and who needs that solution. Now, as therapists, I know that we can't promise a solution for anything, right? We won't promise anything. We won't say we're going to get you this 100%. But you know at some point what you work with and what you strive to do. Do you get what I mean? So ideally, if someone asks you, what exactly makes therapy with you different? What am I going to get out of this here, right? You will be able to confidently say, and I'm going to use my niche as an example, because my full niche is I like to, well, I guess I have two niches. I have a group practice niche and an individual niche. I'm going to use my individual niche for a minute. So, my individual niche is I like to work with career oriented and entrepreneurial driven ADHDers who struggle with overthinking. And I like to help them provide clarity into their lives so that way they can advance their career, make more money, or start their businesses. That's mainly what I like to do. Very wordy, but that's the result I ideally want to get. Am I going to get every single person that result? No. Do I have confidence that if you do the work, you work with me and I believe in you and then trust me if I work with you, I believe in you, right? Are you going to get there? Absolutely, right? I truly believe that with my whole heart. And so because of that, 80 to 90% of my people have had great success rates because of that, right? And it's because I know what I do. I know the model I work under. I know how to tailor it. I know how to provide person-centered planning all around it, but I still have my model. I still have my lens. I still have my ideal result that I'm trying to get for people. But I don't promise people anything because, of course, anything can happen in life, right? When it comes to mental health and healthcare and whatnot, anything can happen. So I don't promise anything, but I do tell them this is the result that we're striving for. So something that you might have noticed on this too is this clause right here. So what kind of people? Age, race, socioeconomic status, etc. Right? So a lot of people when they hear this, they're thinking, I don't discriminate. I work with everybody, right? So picking who you work with is not discrimination. First of all, because it's mainly who you work with, right? We're not excluding anyone. We're just saying this is the group of people I work exceptionally well with. This is what I do, right? So, an example I give on here is a book that I had finished recently. It's called Your First Million. It's by Arwen Hamilton, and she wrote this book for Black women who were LGBTQ. Okay. I am a straight white male. That book was not meant for me. Did I for whatever reason take any messaging away from it when I saw her talking about her book? Did I want to read it? Yes, I was attracted to that, right? I am not going to be her main demographic. That's totally fine, right? So the point is just because you help, as an example, let's say black women with depression, right? So you work with black women with depression, that's your main area, right? It doesn't mean that you won't have somebody out of your demographic or the challenge that you're used to working with that you know how to work with, try to come work with you. And if you know how to work with them, you probably still will work with them, even if that's not your main thing. So it's discrimination when you're saying, I will not work with that group. I will not work with this type of person ever, right? When it comes to their race, their age, socioeconomic status, LGBT status, all those kind of things, right? But if you have a particular expertise in those areas, then that's totally fine, right? We just know that we're not going to tell them we're not going to give this person therapy because they don't fit quite into that box, right? Now, if it has to do with your competency levels, the issues they're bringing up, the challenges, the mental health struggles, that's a different story. You're going to want to refer that out. But just because they don't perfectly fit your niche, it doesn't mean that you're going to not take them. But I would say about 75 to 80% of the people that are going to be on your caseload, they should be within your niche, and that's just going to naturally happen because of the way you market and the way you word things. Okay, so as far as some website tips, so these are some screenshots of my website. So the first tip I would give is that the first 10 seconds or the first swipe. So the website pops up, then you do that swipe up to see like what's going on. You do one swipe, right? We should know what you do. We should know exactly what's going on, who you help, who you serve, right? And so I have a running video, which is why we have two kind of screenshots of like the main part of the page you see. But this little rectangle with these words and things like that and stats on them, this is from my website. It's an ongoing video. And I literally say in the first clip, there's a little family in the sun right down here, right? I say therapy for ADHD, serving adults and families, right? So we're focused on adults. I'm making that very clear from the beginning. And then we take children of all ages because we're a group. So we will say families too, right? We want to help adults and parents have a great life, whether they're the ones with ADHD or maybe their kids have ADHD. We want to help these families. We want to help these adults live a great life. Something else they point out in here is we are the leading provider of online services for ADHD in Michigan. There's another slide that you don't see on here that pops up, and it will talk about being a leading provider for adults with ADHD, and we serving women and all that kind of stuff, right? So we're making it very known. We work very well with adults. Now, the bar again is so low that I could have just said therapy for ADHD, I probably would have still had great results, right? I want to make sure it's clear that every person coming here is somebody that I feel like I could help or my people can help. And quite frankly, we do really well with adults with ADHD. Do we get kids? Absolutely. Do I have people on my team that take kids and love kids? Absolutely. My wife is a part-time therapist with us too. She's a social worker as well, and she loves working with children. She is our child specialist. We absolutely love having Heather. I love Heather. Shout out to you if you're ever watching this video. But the point is that most of our people, they really like working with adults, and that's okay. And we're going to make that very clear that that's what we work with. And we're going to make that very known on our website from the beginning, from the first click. It's not just we provide a safe space to da 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 da, right? We're telling you what we do and how we're going to do it right off the gate, right? And we're doing it very simply and just in your face and ready to go. And then to get started, there should be one or no more than two. I do give two options just to be a little neurodiverse, affirming, accommodating in my niche, but no more than two options that are easy to find. So on my website, if you dig hard enough, you can find a phone number if you need to call us. Some people do prefer to leave voicemails. They might be a little technology challenged. That's totally fine. Like, that's not a big deal at the end of the day. But, I want people to kind of come through a certain way. So if you look at the screenshots over here, you will see a book your free consult here button. That is the first swipe. So from down here, if you were to swipe and you were to swipe up, this is what would pop up. And so what's kind of over here is you have your book your free consult button. When you click that, that's going to open my Calendly link, and that's going to give you a small list of times that you can meet with me so we can get you assigned to a therapist. The other option we do give is all the information we need from a consult session. We get right in this email. I want to start therapy. Fill out this form right here. So name, email, number, all that kind of stuff. Insurance goes right in here, goes straight to our admin team. Our admin takes care of them. It's very simple and very thoughtless. And what will happen on a lot of therapist websites is they'll have the contact page, they'll have the phone number, they'll have the consult button, they'll have, I don't know, like a weird, like, what do they have? They'll have like the weird, like little I am thing where no one's actually there, and they'll send a message and no one's there answering it, so now everyone's confused. And then on top of it, the consult button isn't even active anymore, so now that link is broken, so the therapists don't even know like what's going on, how they get a hold of people. And I've actually met therapists who run practices and they have lost referrals because they have too many ways of communication and they don't know how any of them work. So just get one or two, make it clear this is how you want them to go through, and make it very easy. Make it pretty seamless. You want to make your services and prices and how you help them also crystal clear. So this is two swipes down. I kind of cover this a little bit in like the intro ones when you first enter the website, but in case you want to know anything, we do online therapy. Here's some insurances we accept, and here's our assessments for ADHD, right? Those are the main services that we provide. It's right on the homepage. We do have some other, tabs and things like that to enhance SEO. But guys, I would almost rather you have just a landing page and a bunch of tabs. We have those to help our SEO, which, we'll kind of get into that a little bit here and there tonight. But at the end of the day, if you just had a landing page option, which by the way, you can sometimes get free or reduced cost websites just for a landing page website, you can just go ahead and put it right there. I think on GoDaddy, you can even just have your blogs right on the homepage. Do not quote me because I think sometimes they will, depending on the format you use. They'll have a blog tab that's separate and it can still be on the homepage, but if you click it, it goes to the blog page. It's really weird, right? But the point is that if you just were to have a landing page and you would just have this, like have the little banner, whether it moves or whether it's just a photo with some text on it, and then you have your email form and then this, right? That's all you had. This is really all you need to have a decent quality website that is very simple to show this is what we do. In my personal opinion, have a consult link. I said on here, have a consult link or email because I know some of you don't like consults. I'm going to say, for my personal opinion, have a consult link or have a consult link and an email option. I am a firm believer that consults are one of the best ways to close to get clients, and they especially work if you know how to automatically book them. So what I do is I sync my Calendly and I have clients just book online, and then what'll happen is I have put it already to where they can only book for 1 hour a day. So I do my consults Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. Okay, that's the actually let me lie. I lied. Saturdays are 8 a.m. and then Monday through Friday is 9 a.m. But there's 1 hour each day that clients can go in, or new clients can go in, I should say, and they can book a consult, and then they can just see me and we talk, and then we get them booked. So I don't go out of my way to provide it for all my free space. I do them at 9 a.m. If I get someone emailing saying I want a consult, but like I can't fit it in, then I'll just like try to fit it in where I have a free space, but I'm not going to give all my free time and just do all that, right? I'm going to work at my leisure. Here's my time. And usually people are accommodating. Very rarely we'll get someone who's like, I want a consult at this time, right? If that does happen, it's usually because of a big work schedule or something like that. But then we can make an exception, and it's not necessarily the rule, and it's a little bit easier to manage. All right, let me take a sip of water here on this real quick. My throat's getting a little bit dry because we're going to go into social media presence yet next, and I'm probably going to go on a mini tangent on this. Oh my God, that water's so good. Okay, so as far as social media presence goes, above all else, I need you to start creating content, mostly videos at first. You'll worry about like the static posts and the photos and all that. Worry about that a little bit later. Mostly videos and start building your page, but create videos and create content that people actually want to see or can actually use. So don't just create content for the sake of it. Don't just make all of your practice, whether you're doing a page like mine where it's more personal or you have a practice page, right? Do not just make it to where this is just like the practice show and it's just a bunch of commercials about your practice. No one wants to watch that. It's going to get boring real quick, right? You want to optimize your bio, name, and username, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit and how you can do that actually. But you really want to take advantage of the bio in your social media accounts, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, any of them, right? You really want to optimize these zones to really help you. And I'm going to show you how to do that with my Instagram page today. Use your pinned posts. So you see my pinned posts right down here as a means to highlight your expertise or your accomplishment. So my three pinned posts that I have at the time of this recording, I had a news feature down here, right? I went on the local news in my city and I took the video and stripped it from YouTube. And by the way, guys, this is a very popular reel I put on my page, which whenever I'm celebrating me, no one ever celebrates with me because people want the stuff that they want, right? This is a big one that people ultimately really celebrated with me and said how awesome I was doing and liked it and shared it and all sorts of stuff, right? This is a big moment. And it's super funny because I screen recorded this from YouTube and you can slightly hear my breathing in it at the end. And so it's just I just think that part's funny. So it's not even something that's super high quality, but it's just something I took. I put it on my story. I made like a little thing on Canva as a reel, put a little background, put a little breaking news tape, and that was it, right? I just put that up, I pinned it up. It shows my expertise with ADHD. The next thing I have right here is a photo of me from my book release. And actually, I think this is a reel of my book release party. So there's a little reel that's playing. It's 20 seconds long, a bunch of photos from my book release party. And then we have my Get Fucking Started tour. That's a four-city tour that I'm going on here in 2025. And so this is just something that's showing my public speaking skills, my style of public speaking, and then also some of my niche because I'm really good at, like I said, the overthinking, getting things started, the Get Fucking Started tour. I have that highlighted, not just for ticket sales, but I have that highlighted to show my expertise off. And so you really want to take advantage of this pinned post section. A lot of times what people will do is if they get a popular video, they'll just throw this up here and then that's that. I stopped putting popular videos up here and instead I put stuff that really shows off my personal branding and what I'm actually known for and things that actually highlight my expertise for the long run. And as far as neutrality goes, get rid of neutrality when it comes to your social media persona and your posting. Stop being boring and really take a stance in your niche. Don't stay neutral on a lot of things. Now, do you have to fight people? No, you don't have to do all that, but you want to take a stand on certain things. So, one thing that I take a stand on in my social media presence is I am really big on medication neutrality. That is not something that's super big and popular when it comes to ADHD, The ADHD community is usually very pro-med. I am not anti-med, I am not pro-med, I am medication neutral. I am very much on the mindset of you're going to make your own healthcare decisions with you and your doctor. And if you are not ready for medication, as long as you're not a danger to yourself or others, you can make your own decisions. And so I make that very clear in my content. It creates a little bit of conversation, a little bit of controversy, not so much to where people are calling me an effing moron and all that kind of stuff, but it does create conversation, it creates buzz. And when you create buzz, whether they agree or disagree with you, your posts are going to start going viral. So don't be afraid to actually take a stance. And of course, do not adapt your style to fit in. I think what happens a lot of the time, and I'm guilty of this when I first started, is you try to copy and emulate a lot of other people online and you see what they're doing and you do exactly what they're doing, including their mannerisms, including the way they do things. And does that help at first? Yeah, that helps you to get started sometimes. So if it helps you get started, then just go ahead and do it. But you're going to want to lose that very quickly and you're going to want to adapt your own style. And I usually say the best style is who you naturally are. I think a lot of people try to put up a front on social media because they think they need to hide their true selves for whatever reasoning, especially when they're a therapist. I wouldn't necessarily do that. I wouldn't spread all your dirty laundry as a therapist online, but you can bring some of your stuff to the table. Okay, let me take another sip of water because we're going to get into optimizing. And when we get into this, I'm probably just going to go at it. I'm not even going to lie to you. Okay, so what does optimizing mean, right? So essentially, optimize is just a fancy word for use keywords to be searched, to be found, and to become known. Okay. So if you look right here, my username is optimized immediately. Why? Because it's ADHD therapist and then underscore my nickname, right? So ADHD and ADHD therapist, those are three ways I've already optimized my profile. I'm telling the world I'm a therapist. I'm telling the world that I'm all about ADHD, and I'm telling the world that I'm a mental health professional when it comes to ADHD. Okay. And so because that's in there already, not only it's a key word for the algorithm to pick up on, if you're searching ADHD, I'm more likely to pop up, but also it's just going to be something that is there to alert you. So if you see like me comment in any other ADHD post and you see me with my blue check mark, which ever since Instagram started giving blue check marks and you buy them, I will say I was totally against it before, but you know what? I will say it does show who's actually serious out here, who's a serious content creator, and not just out here who's shit posting. I hate to say it that way, but who's just out here just making content to, I don't know, spread misinformation or anything like that. But it really does show we are the serious people out here. Not a lot of people are buying the check mark either. I think less people actually have the check mark now, from what I can tell anyway. It seems like they do anyway. I haven't quite researched that, so don't quote me. But I see a lot less check marks lately in comment section, so that's kind of nice. And then that makes me stand out too. So if you see that blue check mark in the comment section somewhere of someone's post, you'll see ADHD therapist J. You're going to immediately want to be attracted to that if you're into ADHD content or you have ADHD yourself. Another way I've done this is done the same thing in my name right here. So in my actual name, I have put Justin Gillespie instead of putting LMSW clinical ADHD, all that, right? Because you can get that from my website, right? We want to tell people we have credentials, but we also have a link in bio for a reason, right? So for my website, you are easily able to tell what my credentials are. It's on my website. The acronym is there. The licensure status is there. It's all over the internet if you find it somewhere else. I'm not going to waste my time putting that here. I'm just going to say ADHD therapist, optimize my name, and then I'm going to say based in Plymouth, Michigan. I'm doing this because this is going to, just by having this here or in your bio, right? I would recommend it here because your bio is going to be character driven, and up here is just the easier place to put it. There we go. But this is going to be a spot where if someone is typing in Michigan or even Plymouth, Michigan, I'm more likely to pop up in their search feed now. And then if they ever search that term, I'm more likely to pop up just on their For You or their Explore page, what have you, just because I have that in there now. So that's a way that you can just optimize that pretty easily. And then down here, we have the underlying right here. We are accepting new therapy clients for ADHD in Michigan. I have the ADHD zone optimized in three different spots here. And so the algorithm, there we go. That's a big word for Elmo apparently today. is going to know that, wow, this person really is all about ADHD in Michigan. So anybody who has ADHD in Michigan, anyone who's searching up anything with mental health in Michigan, anything who has, who lives in Michigan, they're searching anything with ADHD, anything like that, right? I'm going to go to their For You page or their Explore page now, or I'm going to show up in their search tabs at some point. And so that's what I mean when I say optimize, is you just want to take advantage of who you are, what you do, and where you're from. And that's a big reason that you want to specialize and niche down, because it's a lot easier to optimize your content. Okay, so as far as you still needing help, this is how I can help you if you really want to work with me professionally. So the first thing that you can do is I will help you improve your social media strategy and just make it ultimately simple for you. I will make this like it is clockwork for you. I will dumb this down so much because I'm a firm believer that if anybody with me who has ADHD, dyslexia, autism, all this kind of stuff, right? If I could figure out how to do this, right, and put it into 20 years, I can bring this to you in such a short amount of time because honestly, y'all, I was overthinking it so much for 20 years. I know everything inside and out now, but I was overthinking it until the last 5 years, and then we just started seeing results finally. And then, you know that saying, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success? That's exactly what happened to me. The second I found that first bit of success, it was just like taking forever, and then it was boom, 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 boom. So I will help you get you to design a website that converts quickly. I'm going to help you redo your website. I'm going to help you just get that website looking nice, looking simple, looking optimized, and also getting you more search engine friendly. And I didn't mention it in this training, but if you don't have a Google My Business profile, you're going to definitely want to get that too. I really recommend that. If you haven't done that already, please do that. And then the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to help you build your marketing strategy to get you at least one new inquiry per day on average. I'm not kidding. I know some therapists, they will get three or four new or I said three or more, four new therapists a month, three or four new clients a month, right? And they'll be thrilled about that. And that's great. I love that for them. I really do. I remember those days when that was kind of happening for me at first, but then I went viral and then just whatever, right? The point is that I will help you get that consistent flow. So you will get, give or take, one new therapy client on average a day. Sometimes you'll get multiple times. Maybe we'll even get you to two therapy clients a day. But the point is, we're going to get you a lot more people and we're going to get things flowing. And especially if you ever want to be a group practice owner, that's going to be especially important. So, what exactly is one client per day? Well, if we're factoring in, let's say, about a 2/3 conversion rate out of like all the clients that kind of come in seven, 7 a week, right? Maybe you get four or five of them to start every week on average, right? Let's just say that as a figure. That means you're going to get up to 20 new clients every month on average. And within 12 months, you're going to get up to 192 to 240 new clients. Now, I know you can't take on 192 and 240 clients. Maybe if you're doing short-term therapy, right? If your model is like a 6 week model, maybe that'd be great for you. You probably can't handle this load, right? So this is like why I'm saying is the strategy I'm giving you right now is going to be really good if you ever want to have a wait list or you ever want to have a group practice that you run, right? Now, also these strategies are good if you want to just get your practice filled up quickly, right? Now, this does take some elbow grease. This does take some work. But once you get it going, you get those referrals in, you're going to be in a really good spot for a long time. Okay. So, what does this mean financially for you, right? So, as far as these extra clients go, this means that you could be looking at to $625 additional revenue per week, $2,500 additional revenue per month, and 30,000 additional revenue per year. This is just off of, by the way, if you were getting four or five new clients, right? If you're getting four or five new clients a week, that's what you're looking at. I base this off of a $125 therapy rate. That's about the average rate. If you're private pay, taking insurance, taking Medicaid, all that, it's about $125, give or take. So that's how I got these figures right here. That's just solely if you are like the solo therapist, right? You're a solo therapist in your solo office, and this is what you're doing, right? That's what you're going to make additional in 1 year if you just get those, if you just get a couple more people a week. Now, as far as other income benefits go, there's three major ones that I want to talk about, and there is the potential to add CEU courses on your expertise to your practice, so you can teach things on. For me, I'm getting ready to do actually CEU courses on ADHD soon, so that's something I'm going to add as an extra revenue source. That also makes me a community leader, by the way, just so we're clear. Remember when we told you you want to be a community leader, community resource? That's a way to do it. That's a way you can do it to get paid. I recommend doing it for free too, because it's really good marketing. But if you want to make more money, you can do this with CEU courses as well, right? You have the ability to provide clinical supervision or consulting. That is a really good way to make money. It's consulting with other professions, other practices, other organizations, schools, anything like that, you can make additional money off of. And you're more likely to also receive paid speaking gigs. So, with all the money that you would be making, you could see between $50 to $150,000 of potential new revenue by adding these into your practice. That's in addition, of course, to the therapy income that you're already making with a half caseload, a full caseload, depending on how much money you're bringing in from that goes, right? So as far as the therapist income cycle goes, here's a good visual of what you could see here, right? So if you look at you just starting to take CEU classes on, or maybe you're doing consulting, or maybe you're doing supervision, or all of the above, right? What's going to happen is not only you're going to generate revenue for that, but let's say you do this and you continue to see therapy clients. You're going to get an influx of professional referrals to your practice just because you're doing clinical supervision or you're doing consulting with them, right? And they're going to refer to you just naturally. You're not even going to ask for it. They're going to literally just give these people to you. They're going to say, hey, you should go see my colleague John. You should go see Mary. You should go see Helen. You should go see, I'm thinking of my friends' names now. You should go see Dayasha, whoever, right? You should just go see this person. And so when you get that professional referral, that ultimately leads to additional therapy clients. And then here's what also happens. Eventually, as you make content, as you build your authority, you do this, you get into here, you get more therapy clients. What's going to happen is because that person was referred, you're going to give them a great experience. They're going to tell someone about you. Again, you're not going to ask for this. You can't ask for this ethically, by the way. That's called solicitation. But you're going to get a new client from that person. And they're usually not even going to tell you they sent someone your way, by the way. They're usually just going to pop up in your door. And then 3 months later, they're going to be like, oh, my friend Denise told me about you. And you're already with them. So it's like, I can't really get rid of this person now. And then on top of it, it's a HIPAA compliant related thing. So it's like, there's no dual relationship there. I know therapists get weird about that, but as long as you know how to, not spill someone's info, then you can keep that person kind of going for the most part. Of course, there are exceptions to that, by the way. So get into it with your liability insurance if you're scared. But the point is that you're going to provide great care, and then they're just going to tell people about you, and then you're going to get more clients. So you're going to do more trainings, get more clients. You're going to get more clients. Those clients are going to give you clients. And between your social media, your classes, your consulting, and then the care you're already giving, you're just gonna have these big influx of clients coming in. And so if you want to work with me personally, here is some of my rates. I just like to be very transparent about my rates. So for consulting services, I do these for $295 a session. There is absolutely no catch to that, no contract. You just pay by session, right? I'll answer all your questions for you. You pay by the session. As far as my standard package, I have three other packages we're going to go over tonight real quick. There's a 12 1-hour session package, and this is where I answer all of your questions and you get a little bit of a reduced rate. And I also give you a website and social media audit where I give you some recommendations. And of course, you can purchase more if you would wish to during that time. And then as far as the premium package, it's 12 1-hour sessions, answer all of your questions, help you come up with strategy. And then it also includes weekly website and social media audit. So when I say audit, I give you like a small report, like a 1 to 2 page report, tells you everything I'm seeing, everything where you're at, where you're growing, some flaws I'm seeing, all that kind of stuff, right? And then, of course, this will also include 15 carousel posts with you for your payment and effort too. So I will be a partial social media manager for your branding too by giving you carousel posts and I'll even get some static posts with that too, by the way. Um, but I will get you your carousel posts with your captions that people actually want to see. Now, my top tier offer, and this is for my more established practices. Let me get some water real quick because my throat's acting up just a little bit. So this offer is a very top tier premium top of the tier offer, right? This is a $25,000 offer. And so essentially you pay me $25,000. I get 50% due at signing, and I will do all of this for you. I'll do a daily video. I'll do a daily static post. I'll do 2 weekly carousel posts. All of these are going to include captions. One weekly advising meeting with your leadership and staff. All right, so I'm going to get them on board because I really want your leadership and your staff to get involved with social media videos. And this will be a 3 month contract. So you're not with me a year, you're not with me forever. You're just going to be with me 3 months, month to month. And then after that, we'll go month to month. So whatever this number is divided by three, that's what you would be paying me after if you wanted to keep me on long term, right? And then what we would do is we do the work. You don't even have to manage your social media. You get a recognized personal brand after we work on your account for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. We're going to help you go viral, and then we're going to hand the page back to you. And because you also have those meetings with us that we do weekly, we're telling you exactly what we're doing. You're seeing how we update your strategy. And then from there, you're going to know exactly how to maintain it. And it's going to be a pretty personal brand already. So it's not like it's going to be a drastically different page. So if you are a practice owner and you're very established, or you already have a couple people already in your practice, I would highly recommend you consider this tier because it's a great one for your social media and it'll really help you blow up your authority this year. All right, if you want to get started with me, you can just go to admin@superior-center.com, send us an email. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you watching this training. And until next time, I hope everybody here has a great night, great morning, whenever you're watching this. All right, bye guys.